What's good, Facebook? It's the Nothing But Sports Show. We're live. It's Thursday night. It's a little different than normal. We normally do it on Tuesday nights. Faces look a little different. You know my face. This is the face you trust. This is the face that tells you right every time. It's just Justin. But we got a special guest this week. It's that little fake champion to my true ex sports junkie. Introduce yourself.
It's when you address me, Truex, the sports junkie champ. The champ is here, baby. The champ is here. Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth. That's cute in the background. What you got? That is fantasy football. We know fantasy football is big time, but the most recent thing that they have out there is fantasy basketball. And you are looking in the eyes of a man that is the fantasy basketball champion. And you know what makes it even sweeter? Because now he's trying to downplay it, y'all. Is the person I beat to get this belt is right there in the screen with me. And now he's trying to downplay my accomplishment when he was working so hard to get it.
I mean, that's nice. When I had a championship, I blew you in my dust rounds before.
Man.
So I'll take a second place.
Sports junkie. Goon Squad.
That's a nice representation, man. It looks pretty accurate.
Yes.
I mean, you got the color wrong. The color scheme, is black. So you may want to go back to the drawing board and look at the real belt and see how it really looks. But go ahead, baby.
To my baby in the background, you coming home too. I'm gonna have both of y'all in about, we in July now, August, September, October, November. It's 6 months, give it time. I'll have both of them on my shoulders, styling and profiling. Woo!
You got it out of your system. All right.
Hey, I'm just getting started. I'm gonna keep my bae on my shoulder all night long. So she may want to talk a little bit. Oh, what's that?
I'm gonna.
What's that?
I'm gonna tell you like Mama used to tell me. Act like you've been there before.
She said, "Justin, stop looking at her."
All right, man. All right. Well, let's get to the actual real sports news. Okay, this week had huge ramifications for NCAA football, basketball, all sports. The NCAA announced that they're going to allow student athletes to receive endorsements. That's a huge deal. Like this is something that they've been fighting for a long time. Do you see this affecting bigger schools getting more better players and smaller schools hurting from it?
I think big schools are going to continue to do what they've been doing for the most part, and that's winning. But in all honesty, though, I do think, and I wanted to talk about. I was talking to some other people about this before I came on the show, like the developmental leagues, like the NBA DL. That's all pretty much done, in my opinion, because now a kid can say, why am I going to go to NBA DL? Why am I going to go to the overseas and play basketball? Kids that deciding to say, you know what? There's some kids like Brandon Jennings that said, I'm not going to college. I'm going to make some money professionally overseas, and I'm going to get in the draft and get drafted. Now kids are going to say, man, I'm coming out of high school with all this hype. I'm going to get this money, man. I'm going to get this endorsement money. I'm going to go to college because at the end of the day, like, let's be honest. When it comes to the college, especially college football, obviously, and college basketball, in my opinion, those two leagues, they're really, when it comes to, I'm gonna use America in a sense, those really can blow your brand up even more. If you attend a kid that's a 5-star goes to Duke or North Carolina or Kansas, that can only elevate him. If he goes overseas, I mean, people, not saying they're going to forget about you, because obviously Brandon Jennings made it happen. There's some other kids that make it happen. But when you go to big schools, it elevates your brand. So I think that a lot of more kids are going to say, you know what? I'm not going overseas, play over there to make some money. I'm going to go straight to college and make this endorsement money. Like, for instance, I know you're not a big fan, but let's just throw somebody out there. Somebody like LaMelo Ball. He just won Rookie of the Year. He didn't go to college. He went across and went play, overseas and stuff. But if he goes to UCLA and can get his endorsement deals where, he has a big name, the family has a big name, he can make money. He's not going overseas. He's going to go make his money, stay in the United States and make his money. So it's a big deal. I do think there's pros and cons to it. I think we could be on here all night if we really broke it down, and this would be the only topic. But unfortunately, we have other topics, but there's definitely pros to this because obviously kids, I believe that's in college should get some type of payment, but there is cons to that because like you said, it's going to hurt maybe a smaller school. It's going to hurt developmental leagues out there. So we have to be prepared for that Pandora's box. We open it, we have to take what comes with that.
Yeah, because like we just on the NBS show, we just interviewed fullback for the Baltimore Ravens, who said he went to a smaller school, knowing that school did develop some NFL draft picks almost every year. It's a small school, nobody really watches it, but he knows that people get drafted out of there. So that went into his decision making on going to there.
That's right.
Him going there now, nobody from that smaller school is going to get endorsements. That's going to be a whole different situation where now he has to think about, do I follow the money or do I follow my dream? Because money will cause people to go elsewhere when you get money now. Because you got some kids that are from the inner city who don't have money, who need money now. And that's going to affect, because you can give somebody a full-blown scholarship to you blue in the face to go to a smaller school, or you can get a walk-on at USC and potentially get an endorsement money. That's going to affect people's decision making on where they're going to go. So a lot of these smaller schools are not going to get endorsements. University of Louisiana Lafayette, you're not going to have endorsements there.
Well, this is what I'll say to that, because I agree with you to a certain extent. I mean, when you think about national endorsements across the United States, world, yes, I agree with you wholeheartedly. But you can get, and I'm not saying it's gonna be pennies on the dollar to what you can make if you do go to a big school. But I'm saying you may get some small endorsements when it comes to local things that's going on locally. Where let me think of a place that's locally owned, like Judy's Inn. They may have a guy that gets recruited to UL Lafayette, and Judy's Inn says, you know what? We want you to endorse our burgers. We're going to do this. Pay you.
Let's be real. We all know where that money from Judy's Inn is going to come from. It's going to come from the University of Louisiana at Lafayette. I mean, you're opening up a situation where you're going to have, the schools paying them, even though it comes from businesses. Come on. It's not hard to wash money.
Absolutely. And that's why I said I don't know necessarily if small schools will be affected by it. Because let's be honest. I do think they're going to be affected, but we know, regardless of what school, UL Lafayette has money. There's people that have attended UL Lafayette that's millionaires. We're not about to sit here and act like we don't know that. But I do think I understand what you're saying. When you think about UL, how many millionaires come from UL? Then you think about LSU and how many millionaires come from LSU. I mean, God, we have Shaquille O'Neal on the television right now, a multi-millionaire that came from LSU. So I get what you're saying. But I am happy that the kids are getting paid. I just think that, the cons could be somewhat, things that we're not talking about that could come back and we'll be like, man, maybe we need to readjust how we're going to do this.
So if you're the NCAA, do you give Reggie Bush back his Heisman Trophy award?
Man, I'm so torn on that. Let me tell you why. Okay, so you took it from him for basically what you're giving kids money now for, but the rule wasn't in place at that time. But now that's another double-edged sword to that. That year, Reggie Bush was the best player in the country. Before the national, I know Vince Young beat him, but in that season, because it's given during the season, Reggie Bush was the best player that season. He was. So it's hard. When I think about the Heisman for that year, I always say, man, Reggie Bush won the Heisman. I don't care if you took it from him. I know who won the Heisman. So I mean, it's a double-edged sword. That's up to the NCAA.
Yeah, I mean, I work in the criminal justice area, so like this is stuff that I see all the time. People are like, marijuana becomes legal. Does my marijuana charge from 5 years ago go away? No, it was illegal when you got caught.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, I don't care how much laws change. If it was illegal when you did it, it was illegal and you did something wrong. And I'm a Reggie Bush fan. One of my props here is a signed Saints helmet by Reggie Bush. He's one of my favorite college players of all time. I'm a huge Reggie Bush fan. At the end of the day, he broke the rules. He deserved to get what he got. So
Gotcha.
I don't think he should get it back.
But you still view him as the Heisman Trophy winner that year.
Of course.
Oh man, he can go get a replica of it. Since that's like
Speaking of replicas, you got that right. I like your style.
Hey, but you know what? Don't listen to him. He knows no better. Let's go. Oh man, but I'm gonna say this though for everybody out there. This is a topic that I really wish we could discuss more in depth, because there's a lot of underlying things that I want to speak about on this topic. I just know that we don't have the time frame to make that happen. So you never know. We might get an uncensored, maybe one topic just to maybe break this down a little bit more.
Yes, there's a lot of complex things involved in this.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's really one of the biggest sports stories in the last.
That should be the biggest sports story right now, hands down. This is crazy. This is crazy, dude.
Yeah. I mean, this is what everybody's been fighting for, and it's happening. I know they're not saying they're paying players. At the end of the day, they're paying players. Like,
before we get out, and this is one of the things. Do you think, okay, like for a player like, let's say Zion, right? Zion's gonna be if this was in place when he was at Duke, he would have been a millionaire before he even got on the NBA court. Mm-hmm. We have to understand that. He would have been do you think that could affect him as far as in the NBA? Because a lot of times kids try to get to that. That's their dream, because, that's how I'm going to get my money, take care of my family. But if I got it already.
He may be still at Duke today.
Yeah. Like, what am I doing?
You're right, because the thing is, like, he was the #1 draft pick, and New Orleans won the lottery. Mm-hmm. At that point, if I'm getting millions at Duke or I'm going to New Orleans,
that's what I'm talking about. Opening Pandora's box. We opening Pandora. I'm telling you, and I'm happy they're getting paid, but we are opening Pandora's box. We have to understand that. Is the hunger going to be there? Will he pan out? Do you think we're going to have more busts now? Because they're millionaires already. When they get to the league, they're going to say, man, I got it. I ain't worried about what they about to pay me. I got it already. So it's going to be a little tricky. It's definitely going to be a learning curve for everybody involved, coaches from the collegiate level and coaches in the NBA, GMs, because now you're not only recruiting the kid in college, but now that GMs, they have to say, man, he got $1 million. He got 1 million followers. He got everything that, what can we offer him that is going to make him say, I'm going to come to New Orleans, like a small market like New Orleans. He's going to say, man, I'm going back to school. That's on y'all.
I'm surprised they made the jump, because before this, a student athlete was not even allowed to have a job.
Right.
I'm surprised they went from the league from no job to now you don't even have to work. You can just use your name and your likeness and make millions from it. They didn't there was no stepping stones in there. So these guys, they weren't allowed to have a minimum wage job. And now you're saying, I just don't understand it. I mean, I'm glad, because I'm a gamer on the side.
Yep.
And we finally get our NCAA football.
That's right.
Better than any Madden game has ever been made.
Yep.
So coming next year, we'll see who's going to be the first person to get that money from being on the cover of NCAA football 2022.
That's crazy, right? That's crazy, man. And then you got to think about the high school kids. Pardon me. The high school kids, it's a popularity contest now. I need to become popular. I mean, of course, I'm going to work hard, but if I can have 1 million followers, now people are going to say, off of your 1 million followers, I need to endorse that guy. He tweets something out. sends something out on Instagram, he got 1 million people that follow him. I'm gonna pay him a little something. So, man.
And how do you? And where is the minimum? Because the thing is, if you're allowing college players, I don't know. There's a structure in place right now for high school players.
Exactly.
So if you sign that letter of intent to go to Duke as a sophomore, who's stopping you from getting that Duke money as a sophomore in high school?
See, I don't think they can. I don't know how they're gonna stop that. It's gonna be Pandora's box has been opened. Forget open. They flipped the whole box over. They blew the box up.
All right, man. Well, we can go all night about this. Let's get on to some NBA. Right now, they got, the East is a big battle between the Milwaukee Bucks and the Atlanta Hawks. Both of them missing their best player in Giannis and Trae Young. You're right.
Who you pick tonight?
You know.
I don't know who you pick. I swear I don't know. I didn't look at it.
I picked the Hawks.
Yes.
You're so far behind the standing. I ain't even tripping.
I think I'm like 2 or 3 games. Don't do that.
We're in the finals. They ain't got many games left.
Hey, all I need you to do is pick them wrong. Don't worry about all that.
All right. Well, anyway, who do you pick to come out of the East to face CP3 and the Suns in the West?
The Milwaukee Bucks. The Bucks are coming out the East. Now, it may go 7 now. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, it's over in 6. The Milwaukee Bucks are a better team, in my opinion. The Hawks have played great. I take nothing away from they superseded any expectation I ever had for them. I didn't think they were going to beat the Knicks. I picked the Knicks to win that series. I definitely picked Philadelphia to beat them. And I picked Milwaukee in 5. And they've hung tough with the Milwaukee Bucks. But at the end of the day,
well, the moral of the story is you've been wrong every time.
I have. When it comes to the Hawks, so you picked the Hawks against Philadelphia? So look, at the end of the day though, I just think Milwaukee, man, they know what's at stake. To me, like they know a little bit more of what's at stake. I'm not saying the Hawks are a young team. Nobody expects them to be here, so that's dangerous as well. But when I look at what Milwaukee's done, if they don't get to the finals, man, it's finals or bust. Like, LeBron's not in the East. I know he hasn't been there for a while, but he's not there. Philadelphia struggled. Brooklyn got knocked out. By y'all, it's time for y'all to close the door.
What happens if Trae Young comes back and Giannis doesn't?
Got the Bucks.
You still got the Bucks?
I got the Bucks.
Wow.
I got the Bucks, man.
Well, I'll see you in the middle of the power rankings.
Hey,
we looking down on you.
I will say this. I said this yesterday on the show. Phoenix will beat either team. The Bucks have a chance if Giannis plays. If he doesn't play, Phoenix will win the NBA Finals for sure. If the Hawks get there, Phoenix will win the NBA Finals for sure.
So you're calling it today. The Suns are the champion this year.
The Phoenix Suns will be the champions unless Giannis Antetokounmpo comes back. Then I think it's a 50-50 throw up in the air.
Wow. All right.
You got the Hawks winning the East? I want to hear it.
Well, before tonight, I'd already planned to say I had the Hawks. After watching this game, I can't stick with that.
And we know who's the basketball guru around here. Oh!
I wish I could show the world the rankings now in Pick'ems because it doesn't say 2X the Sports Show comes out.
And you're gonna lose tonight, so you're gonna be up 1 or 2. It's got a long way left to go. Calm down.
All right, on to the next one. All right, well, recently there's been a lot of head coaching jobs filled by former NBA players. They're getting away from just the strictly head coaching gigs and hiring former NBA players. Do you think that's good for the league, or do you think that hurts the field of normal head coaches?
I think for the most part, it's been a lot of players that's been head coaches. When you think about Rick Carlisle, he was a player. Who else I'm thinking about? Nate McMillan right now that's playing, that's still in the playoffs. He was a player. Monty Williams was a player. Most of them a lot of times are players. Phil Jackson was a player. You know, so we're not this
Well,
not something
high
new.
profile players.
Yeah, okay. I get more what you're saying. Okay. I don't think it's a bad thing. If you can coach, you can coach. If you can coach, I want you. If you can't coach, then I don't want you. It just boils down to that. And I mean, we're gonna see about Chauncey Billups. We're gonna see about. I mean, Jason Kidd has had some run as head coach. This is a unique situation. I came on here. Not
you
on
got
this
players
show.
like Steve Nash last year.
Yep, Steve Nash, another one. But I told Keo them. I think it was Keo. No, it was me and my brothers who was actually having a conversation. They said, "Who would you if you could have a fantasy basketball draft and you could take one player?" I said, dude, I'm taking Luka Doncic. Are you kidding me? Like, are you kidding me? Like, right now, today, for the next 10, 15 years, I know what Giannis is doing. I get it. But, dude, Luka, besides defensively, offensively, this dude is a magician out there. I feel like Dallas's team is not up to par with the rest of the West as a team, but you can't deny Luka Doncic. So I think that Jason Kidd is sitting in a really good but unique situation, because if he doesn't win with that guy as your main piece, he could be out of there real quick. But I like it though.
I was never a fan of the hire. Number one, just because Dallas is just now getting over sexual misconduct situation in their front office with Mark Cuban knowing of it and not saying anything, and you know they had a big controversy. And you know, with Jason Kidd being involved with one not that long ago, it was a very bad PR move of all the organizations to make the hire of someone who had a former sexual misconduct situation. Dallas Mavericks was probably the last one that should have, and they did. So it was a really bad PR move. I think it's just a show move. He's a big name, and them hiring JJ Barrera as a assistant coach, I think it's just it's just a big name. Somebody, them hiring Dirk as a consultant. It's all PR. It's all to make it look good for Maverick fans out there. Oh, all their former players are coming back. Yeah, that's nice and dandy. But at the end of the day, is he going to be a better coach than Rick Carlisle? Because Rick Carlisle is a hell of a coach.
I told you that before you told me they were going to fire him. I'm like, y'all going to fire Rick Carlisle?
And I was right. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if he's a better coach than Rick Carlisle. We'll see. The thing is, he does have Luka's approval, which means a lot. In this day and age, your star player needs to be happy. Look what's happening in New Orleans right now with Zion. We don't know if we're gonna have Zion for the next 3 or 4 years because he's not happy.
That's right.
You want to make your star player happy. Whatever, I don't care if you hire the worst coach in the world. I'd rather have the best player and the worst coach than have the best coach and no players. So,
okay,
them keeping Luka is a good hire, but I don't know. I'm a fan of the traditional coach. I think some people can't play, so they coach. So it really hurts when you have all
like
these
the Stan Van Gundys of the world. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Hey, no disrespect to Stan, though. I do think Stan can coach. I'm just joking right now, but I was just making a joke because he didn't do nothing for our Pelicans.
But at this point, who can do anything for Pelicans?
We should have kept Monty Williams. I said that when we let him go. Just like I said, y'all should have kept Rick Carlisle.
But what did Monty Williams do in New Orleans?
I mean, him and Chris Paul had some. They didn't win, but they had some success. And at the end of the day, like I felt like he was turning that curve in New Orleans.
Was it Monty Williams or was it CP3? Because everywhere CP3 has gone, he has improved the team.
He has. Yeah, you know what? That's a great argument. I can't even fight that back. You might be right. But did CP3 leave New Orleans first or Monty Williams? I think CP3, right?
I don't remember. I don't lie.
Okay.
But all right, man. So last time I checked that score, the Hawks were down by 11. Oh, down by 15. So it looks like
yes. I'm cutting into that lead because yesterday the Clippers killed me. I went down, I think 3 after last night. I think. So I cut it back down to 2.
All right. Well, in another news, it's smaller news, but yet it's exciting news for NFL fans. Starting next year, the NFL is going to allow teams to wear their throwback helmets. Of all the NFL throwback helmets, what's your favorite?
Ooh, man. Whew. I like a lot of them, bro. I like a lot of them. I'm gonna tell you one that I think is super cool that maybe a lot of people don't like. I like the old New England Patriots uniforms. I know people. Hey, I know people don't like them, but I think they dope. I like those uniforms. I like the old Eagles. I like the old Eagles uniforms better than I like the new ones. Like I don't like that dark green. I don't that one. That's not my cup of tea. I like the old Eagles helmets and the uniforms better.
I got two.
I'm trying to think another one that I really really liked. I like the Giants helmet where it said Giants on there. That was hard.
So unoriginal.
That was hard. You a hater, Justin. You a hater. I like the old Denver Broncos helmet too. That was cool.
I got two
the
of
Bucks, of course. Everybody's gonna say the Bucks though.
I'm not.
That's why I didn't say it. The creamsicle.
Yeah, Bucks can kiss my. You know what? and I'm gonna surprise you with this because I'm telling you I'm not picking the Bucks because I'm a Saints fan. But one of my two is our biggest rivals.
Don't say Atlanta.
The Atlanta Falcons, man. The red helmet.
I didn't like that one. I like the black helmet better. That's me, though. That's me. I'm just saying I like the black helmet better.
The Atlanta Falcons red helmets are fire. And my second favorite is where you spending the 4th of July.
Oh, yeah. The Houston Oilers ones?
The Houston Oilers.
Those hard. I didn't even think about them. That's hard. I like
that. Those are my two favorite, the Falcons and the Oilers, man. That powder blue Houston Oilers, you can't beat
that one's fire. I'm with you. That might be one of the better ones. I can't lie. I like that one. I like the Eagles old one, but I like that one too.
But man, I'm excited about seeing throwback. I hope we see whole throwback uniforms. I'm not sure about the new rule if it's just helmets. That would kind of look crazy with some of the newer uniforms. But if they can come back with all throwback uniforms, there's a lot of fire ones out there, man. I'm a Saints fan. I'm looking for that all gold uniform. I mean, there's a lot of good. There's some I don't like. The Green Bay Packers. Never been a fan of the Green Bay Packers.
That's not my cup of tea.
No, this color scheme doesn't even look right.
It's horrible.
But there's some of them that I really, really enjoy. Denver Broncos is one of my favorite. Okay. But all right,
I like the Oilers. I think I like the Eagles. That's probably two of my favorites.
Fair enough. All right. Well, speaking of fantasy football, like we talked about earlier, just in case you didn't know.
Oh God, babe, look at this fool. What's that?
All right. Fantasy football is coming around the corner.
Tell him you're looking at what's behind him. Oh, she told me to tell you.
She's jealous. She's jealous.
She said she's looking for a friend to join my shoulder. Oh, my other shoulder. I love you, baby. Let's go.
Man, put your damn Wilson on the ground and let's do. All right. Speaking of fantasy football, being this year's fantasy football champion, currently, if you wanted to try to beat me and try to take this belt, which we all know won't happen, but let's just play in this miraculous pretend world that you're drafting. Top 10 wide receiver on the board right now. Who you staying away from? Unless they're in the later rounds.
You talking about the first round?
No, early rounds. Top 10 receiver. Who you staying away from unless you see him like way later? Who is fool's gold in the top 10 right now?
Man, I'm torn. I'm gonna tell you, I'm torn because, of course, okay, Michael Thomas scares me. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think that he could be really good, but for me to take a big gamble like that early in the draft, I don't know, man. And look, Jameis Winston making the job, Taysom Hill, but can we get the same production out of Michael Thomas without Drew Brees there? I think out of all of them, he's probably the one that I can see go from here to here. I'm talking about a huge drop. It may be bad, it may be just as good, maybe better, but it's scary. I'm gonna say it's going all down. I wouldn't take him early.
Okay. Well, there's a couple of them that I wouldn't take early. Devontae Adams, I'm not taking early because I don't know who's throwing him the ball this year.
Okay, fair.
We don't know if Aaron Rodgers is going to be there, and I'm not taking him in the early rounds and spending a lot of money on him because I don't know if he's going to be there. Calvin Ridley, I'm not taking him as a top 10 wide receiver. Now that Julio Jones is gone, everybody knows exactly where that ball is going. Now, I know Pitts is there.
That's what I'm about to say. You don't think Pitts is going to take some double teams away from him a little bit?
I mean, he could, but, really wasn't a top 10 receiver with Julio Jones there.
Yeah.
Without Julio Jones, I think it takes away from him because now he's not going to get that second or third cornerback on the team. He's going to get that number one cornerback on the team.
Yeah.
So I think Calvin Ridley's one. I'm with you with Michael Thomas. I just don't know. I drafted Michael Thomas. Of course, won a championship drafting Michael Thomas. Just in case you've forgotten.
Let's drug test this, man. Give it a ball.
Yeah, you're right. Highlight my shirt here. Put a spotlight on it. Put a spotlight on it. All right. I drafted Michael Thomas. I actually drafted him really high. I spent a lot of money on Michael Thomas. He was a big bust for me, one of the biggest busts of the year. I honestly don't know how I won fantasy football drafting him with so much money on him.
Because of Travis Kelce?
Maybe so. But, so I'm trying to stay away from fool's gold this year. So, if y'all want to listen to a pro here, someone who knows what he's talking about, someone who's won championships this decade.
Championship. Don't do that. Now you're about to sit there and lie to these people. We're not going to have that on this show. Even though it's not my show.
All right. But yeah, and A.J. Brown is another one I'm scared of. Just because, with Julio Jones going there, I'm not a Julio Jones fan. But the thing is, I'm not going to put my faith in A.J. Brown being a top 5 wide receiver if you have a possible top 10 other receiver on the other side in a non-passing offense.
Yeah.
So there's only so many balls that are going to get thrown because Derrick Henry is going to get fed. So with that many balls being thrown, is A.J. Brown going to get those balls? We don't know yet.
So let me ask you this. Who do you think is worth a first round, if any, receiver worth a first round draft pick?
Tyreek Hill?
Me, I'm not drafting no wide receiver in the first round.
Well, okay, you said if. We said if. You didn't say are you. You said if.
Okay, let me ask you this. Who do you think is the just in your opinion, because me and you don't see the same thing anyway on most things.
Yeah,
who's going to be the best three wide
championship?
Who's going to be the best 3 fantasy wide receivers this year in your mind?
Hopkins, Tyreek Hill, and I'm going to go on a limb and say Keenan Allen.
Wow, top 3. Just
because I don't like. If I were betting now, I don't think we don't know if Devontae Adams is going to have Aaron Rodgers. We don't know if Michael Thomas is going to be what he was before. We don't know about A.J. Brown. DK Metcalf, maybe. Justin Jefferson, I see that offense declining now. So, I mean, I don't know if he can be better than he was last year. I think last year was spectacular for him. I don't think he's going to be a better wide receiver this year. I think he'll match last year. You got players like Mike Evans, who in Tampa, balls are going everywhere, so you don't know.
A few of them, yeah.
Adam Thielen, Terry McCullough. Like I honestly think that with Justin Herbert there, he's going to improve. And they had a great offense last year, so I think Keenan Allen has a chance to be a top 3 wide receiver.
Okay, so I'm not far off from you. I got Hop, I got Hill as well, but I got DK Metcalf, no doubt about it. DK Metcalf is a dog, and he has a stud quarterback throwing the ball. I trust that situation a lot more than I trust a lot of other situations.
But don't you think that they're going to start running the ball more in Seattle?
Course. And teams are going to start doubling DK Metcalf more. We know that, but if I'm looking at the receivers, and I'm not even taking DK Metcalf in the first round, and I think he's super talented in a good situation, but when you look at that team, you have Russell Wilson throwing in the ball. That's a lock. We know that for right now. I got to say DK Metcalf. I would take him over Keenan Allen, but I see where you're going with Keenan Allen. My issue with Keenan Allen is he's always hurt. That's scary to me.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to go to our last topic. This topic may be a little bit controversial.
Yeah. And you got the right person for this. You got the right one for this.
So if you are easily offended, you may want to turn off the screen right now because we're about to get real. The Olympics is coming up next in a couple weeks. We had recently a situation where one of the athletes for the U.S. Team turned her back on the national anthem. Do you think that the Olympics, now we've already been told that the Olympics are not going to allow it, but in your opinion, should the Olympics allow social injustice protests?
I think that the Olympics has the right to. Oh no, get me right. Don't do that. I think that the Olympics has their right to, put whatever mandates they want in there for sure. That they have that right as the committee. They can say, I can't tell the NFL you can't do this or your company can't do this. They have the right to do that, but they have to also understand. I mean, some athletes are gonna do these things. What are you gonna do? You're gonna fine them? You're gonna say they can't be in the Olympics no more? Are you gonna hurt the Olympic brand? Like, I'm just gonna use somebody for example. I know you and I were talking about gymnastics, I think last time on the show. What about somebody like Simone Biles? What if she says, I'm doing X, Y, and Z? I'm standing up for social injustices going on in the world today, right? Are you gonna ban her from the Olympics? Does that help the Olympics? Does it hurt it? And that's more of a question for you. I want to know how you feel about that. If somebody like Simone Biles, let's use her for example, or somebody like Michael Phelps, or like one of the big names. I mean, obviously they're not. Some of them retired. I get all that, but I'm saying, let's say one of the big names decides to say, "Well, this is what I'm doing." What are you gonna do? Let's pretend like you're the committee. What are you gonna do?
This is my thing. It all depends on what they're asking to do.
Okay.
If you want to wear a shirt that says BLM on it, or wear a headband, or wear a sweatband around your wrist, you want to do something like that, I can possibly be okay with.
Okay.
What I'm not okay with is allowing your country to pay for you to go to the Olympics, pay for all your medical, pay for all your training, pay for all your clothes, hotels, food, massages when you want it. Anything you want is paid for by that country. You are literally wearing the flag of your country on you. The whole Olympics in itself is about each country prideful coming together against other countries
and competing.
And saying, we are the best country in this. And for you to turn your back on that country, while you're supposed to be prideful of that country, you are getting paid for and you are working for that country, should not be allowed.
Well, now I won't even. I always tell Q I never come on here and lie about anything. I try to be as truthful. I honestly, that's the first time I saw you, and I know maybe it's been, but I've been really busy lately at my house. We have we start up a business, so I haven't seen it, and I haven't really been watching a lot of TV outside of the games. So that's my first time seeing that. Who was the athlete, and what was the response from the Olympics when she did that?
Well, the Olympics hasn't started yet.
Okay. Okay.
This was the American trials.
Okay. Got
it. Her last name is Barry, and it was the hammer thrower.
Okay.
And it's been controversial. I mean, people are upset about it. There are athletes that are really proud to have made the Olympics and proud to represent America, and there are some that are upset that she turned her back on the country that she's supposed to be representing.
What did the Olympic company, the United States?
I don't know what the United States Olympic Committee has said on it. That's probably something I need to look up.
I want to apologize to everybody out there because typically Justin will send me the topics or Q will send me the topics, and I typically have time to look over it. Unfortunately, today when Justin actually, I think you sent it to me last night. I think, and then today I went somewhere for a friend of mine's birthday. So I literally I saw him and I was like, yeah, that's a good topic. And normally I would do my research on that day, but I feel like I don't know enough information. But I would love to have this conversation again. Maybe I can come on next week and I'll have a little bit more for you because the Olympics start. When does the Olympics officially start?
It's in a couple weeks.
Okay. Because I would definitely love to, learn about. Did she break a rule within? And I get what you're saying, but did she break a rule by doing this? If it's not a rule broken, you're saying that maybe the Olympics or the USA needs to put something in place. That's what I'm guessing. That's what you're saying?
Yeah.
So this doesn't happen.
But my thing is, like, honestly, the American Olympic Association could decide not to send her.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, like, that's a privilege. People don't understand it's not a right to be in the Olympics. The Olympics is a privilege. You are representing America in the Olympic Games. And that is definitely a privilege. And if you're not appreciative of America, then maybe you shouldn't go to the Olympics as an American. And unpopular opinion, but let it be unpopular. Because the thing is, like, you have the opportunity if you want to go live in a different nation and go to the Olympics being Canadian or Brazilian, you have that opportunity.
My thing would be
Stars and Stripes.
My main thing is, did she break a rule? And I'm gonna have to do some research because, like I told you, I didn't go through everything. I don't know, much about the situation. I didn't even know who the girl was. So. A young lady it was. I would love to do more research, and I would love, hopefully, I can come back on right before the Olympics starts, and we can talk about, maybe what some of the Olympic policies they should put in place or what they shouldn't put in place. But like you said, I have no issue. I'm not gonna say, you and I, we love each other, but we're on two different ends of the spectrum when we look at certain things. That's okay, because I think I always tell you that's healthy for us to have a conversation. We can agree to disagree. We don't have to always agree. As long as it's respect factor, I'm cool with it. So let me just gotta do a little bit more research, and then hopefully, in the future, we can definitely come back and have this conversation.
Definitely. Hopefully, it's with the Americans winning all the gold medals, and we have the Olympics.
Absolutely.
Well, this is the NBS show for the 1st of July. The 4th of July is coming up. I know a lot of people are going to be on vacation this weekend. I know most of the people I know are going to be on vacation. You're going to be on vacation. Man, keep that little Wilson home.
Matter of fact, she told me to tell you, you said I'm going to be on vacation. She said, say you and your bae going to be on vacation because she's going to be on vacation with me too.
So it's going to be a vacation?
A vacation. Houston, get ready. Houston, get ready. We coming. We are coming. Let's not kid ourselves. Man, that's nice, huh, Justin?
I mean, it's nice for a replica. It's pretty close.
That's nice, man. That's
nice. The wrong color.
Oh, don't do that. Don't do that, Justin. Don't
Once
do
you go black, you never go back.
I like that. Hey, well, next year we gonna get it popping. I hope you ready. I hope you ready. I'm not talking to you, Justin. You can actually get out the camera now. You ready? we gonna get you right. We gonna get you right. I got an all for you.
Well, to all our viewers out there, have a happy 4th of July. Celebrate, with family. Get your barbecue on. Be safe. That's the most important thing.
Absolutely.
We want to see y'all next week. We want to see your comments. If you want to come on the show. I'm always looking for good co-hosts. This guy's probably not the most knowledgeable when it comes to fantasy football. So I'm always looking for people who actually know what they're talking about. So come on the show, comment. I want to see you back next week. So be safe for the 4th of July. You have any shout outs, True?
Shout out to my babe.
Oh my God.
When I seen you, you changed my life. I fought for you. This guy across from me tried to take you. But I know I know you chose me. I know you chose me. I know it. And I love you for it. With that being said, wow. He kicked me off. He kicked us off. With that being said, appreciate you. J Franchise, stop ducking. You know what it is. Stop ducking me. I know you upset too that I got this. But with that being said, Justin, hopefully, you have a wonderful 4th of July. And everybody out there, hope you have a wonderful 4th of July. And we'll see y'all next week for all the shows that we have lined up.
Yeah, check out Let's Talk About It with UX Sports Junky. I got a new rap battle show that plays right after it. Chris is, college football. I'm sure his show is going to be popping this week with the new NCAA rules. Please check him out this weekend. If you live in Houston and you see that white belt in a car, please call authorities. He's been kidnapped. I need an Amber Alert for an NBA belt. Please bring her back home. So, Houston area, Amber Alert, starting now.
We out, y'all. Peace.